Poor people can't have kids, so I forced my parents to stop paying for my sister's IVF. Am I the a-hole?
Hey, if you're poor, your penis don't work.
I'm male 23. My sister is female 28, married to male 30 for 6 years. 6 years of marriage.
Long time.
My sister has been trying for a baby for about 3 years now without any success.
Rough.
18 months ago, she and her husband came to my parents and asked if we would finance an IVF treatment. That is in vitro fertilization to help make the babies. Yeah. Some fuck juice.
That is the medical term. Fuck juice.
If you want to be a doctor about it.
Yeah, if you want to be a doctor about it.
My parents have some savings separate from retirement and agreed to pay for it.
Oh, wow. That's really nice.
I even pitched in a few $100s to show my support, even though I don't have a lot of savings, having just started work after graduation.
That's super nice.
Dude, I mean, he's 23 years old. Like, literally
He's
just
already given some cash.
doesn't have a lot of this.
No.
All right? If you want to make the babies, this is what you need. Just shove it.
Honestly,
shove
dude,
it down
schools, food, babies are expensive, yo.
Exactly. This is what you need, okay? Unfortunately, the IVF failed.
Yeah. And you have to like pay for it each time. So it's pretty expensive.
Yesterday, my sister and brother-in-law came over again for dinner. Afterwards, my sister said she wanted to try another round of IVF and asked my parents if they would pay for it again. I could tell my parents looked hesitant, but they agreed because my sister was crying.
Okay. I guess turn on the waterworks and you get free money. There we go. Get that money, John. Can you please donate to our Patreon to stop John crying?
Yeah. Please, the tears won't stop.
Forget OnlyFans. Only tears. That's our next.
That's literally like the TikTok live streamers. It's like,
please give us money.
Yeah,
please give us money. Have you seen those?
Yeah, it's like that, but it's crying, and it's like, I won't. It's like
I
the
won't
opposite.
stop crying unless you give me $1.
Yeah.
Or if you give me $1, I'll stop crying for 1 minute.
Yeah, something like that. At this point, I stood up and said it's not right for her to ask for our parents' money again for something that didn't work before and may not work again. We argued a bit, and I admit that things got heated and we did have a big fight. She yelled at me that it was none of my business. Okay. And I told her if she can't pay for the IVF, then she needs to accept the fact that she cannot afford a kid.
Coming out swinging, dude.
It's,
I mean, but like it's between her and the parents. So if the parents are okay with it, like,
yeah, that's a good point. Like, does he? Interesting.
Does OP really need to interfere?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
She told me to get the F out, but I refused. I'm going to stand my ground against your baby mania. My parents were trying to calm us down. My mom started telling me that it's not my money, to which I replied, it's basically a gift to one child and not the other, and it was only fair that I be given a similar amount of money as she would spend on my sister. Okay, hold the phone now.
OP, you're looking like a little bit of a douchebag.
This is not good. I can't tell if he's saying it as like, oh, this is an example, or like the thought experiment. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It seems like OP's like actually serious.
My sister started complaining that it's not a gift, it's a treatment for a medical condition, and that if I'd expect payment if she had cancer and my parents pay for chemo.
Well, that's a stretch too.
It's a different scenario.
It's a completely different scenario.
Yeah, but I get, she's illustrating the point.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not quite cancer.
It's not. No. It's not apples and oranges.
Yeah, but also like OP is like that's kind of bratty. Like you have money for your treatment. I want a new Lambo.
Oh yeah. I told her not being able to have a kid poses no threat to her life the way cancer does, and it's a completely disingenuous comparison.
It isn't the greatest comparison.
Kind of fair. My dad finally stood up and yelled at us both, "Shut up and sit down."
Ooh, daddy laying down the lawn.
Yeah, daddy's in the house now. Then he told my sister that they already paid for one, and I had a point that continued to pay for it would be unfair. Oh man.
Interesting. Now the
Daddy's
family's
throwing his hat
split.
into the ring. He said he's very sorry for what she's going through, but they need to accept things how they are. My sister started crying again, and her husband, who had been quiet, looking uncomfortable the whole time, which, that's awkward. It's like, these are your in-laws,
Yeah, I don't know what you say.
Yeah,
it seems like family drama.
Yeah. The brother-in-law just ended up taking her and leaving. Today, my sister sent me some texts calling me an a-hole for sticking my nose in her business and keeping her away from having a baby.
I mean, it is not quite OP's business,
It is a bit of a stretch for him to just be like, I get him saying like, hey, look, more power to you, but at the end of the day, this is your, I shouldn't be responsible for paying for this, and then leave it at that. Like,
OP or the dad?
OP, yeah. OP.
Yeah, I don't think OP needs to pay anything else, but if the sister is trying to ask something of the parents, I think that's between the parents and the sister.
But you know what? I do honestly kind of get it's like your parents, and you're like, you don't want to see your parents keep. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree with him. It depends on their personal situation. It sounds like they're not loaded. But I kind of understand speaking up, but not the way that he did it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to give her a baby, then give me a Lambo.
Yeah. No, that's kind of bratty, dude.
Am I the a-hole from forcing my husband to stop seeing my sister because he won't stop debating with her and her husband?
Debating about what? About that threesome you're trying to do?
Exactly.
About swinging with the sis?
Debating about who's going first.
Oh, yikes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's Reddit. I wouldn't put it past him.
It's Reddit. It has happened before.
And it will happen again.
And it will happen again.
Before the clock strikes midnight.
My sister Marie, 29, and her husband Zach, 40, had their first child, a beautiful baby girl, 2 months ago.
Congrats.
They have been pretty nervous parents, so when my husband, Tom, 42, and I, 37, were invited to meet our niece, I was thrilled, except I was worried about Tom making an ass out of himself.
Does Tom often make an ass out of himself?
Tom, he's just clearly the worst human being on planet Earth. That's why I married him, obviously.
Oh, dude, the red flags. The red flags.
They're abound.
Oh, God. It's like, I hate going over to my family's house because my husband is an asshole. Like, bro, why do you marry this dude?
What are you going to do? You see, Tom and Marie have always had a hard time getting along because they do not agree on nearly anything. Tom has always gotten a kick out of challenging Marie on their differing views because they're both very opinionated.
Oh, God.
This is a recipe for disaster.
Okay, but to be fair, I love a good debate.
That is true. Samuel loves a good debate.
I love a good debate. I've learned to, over the past few years, though, I've learned to kind of go with the flow a little bit more.
It just depends on the vibe.
Yeah,
some people are down for discussion and some people are not down for discussion.
You just have to gauge how emotionally invested someone is.
Yeah.
The more emotionally invested they are in defending their side, the
more you argue.
Yeah, the more you poke them,
the more you twist the knife.
Squirm.
Exactly. And the thing is, to Tom, it's funny to watch Marie react when he says things to provoke her. Like we just said, of course. And Marie always wants to prove his views wrong. In his head, because she was in grad school for social science, she finished right before having her baby, and is knowledgeable about the topics that Tom wants to argue about, Marie shouldn't have a problem with debating because it's literally her job, bro. It's her job, bro.
Is it her job? She just went for school for it.
She just went to school for it. What? In the past, both Tom and Marie have initiated these arguments, and they have both been guilty of taking it too far. But
oh, God. What are the arguments? It's like political?
I hope we find out. But ever since she got pregnant and had a baby, Marie has calmed down a lot, whereas Tom still tries to bait her into doing debates about touchy subjects, mainly politics and personal values. Okay, so I think we got two different people. This got to a point where Marie blocked him on all social media a few months ago.
Wow, Tom, dude, just read the room. I understand. I love a good debate as much as the next guy. But if you're causing problems and people have said stop it, just stop. It's not worth it.
Literally.
Join the debate club.
Yeah,
if you want, or Toastmasters. I guess Toastmasters isn't the bait.
But you could debate you could say that your speeches are about how stupid Toastmasters is. Then you'll get some debates you're looking
get some
for.
spirited debates.
Yeah. Before we went to visit, I asked Tom to be nice to Marie and Zach and not start anything.
And Tom's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I want.
Tom said he would try his best.
Oh my God, Tom.
Sweet Tom. I told him I would be very upset with him if he tried to bait Marie or Zach into an argument. Tom started out the evening pretty strong and he kept to himself until it was revealed that Zach was going to be the one to stay home with the daughter. How dare you?
God. Okay, so Tom's pretty conservative.
He's a conservative
He's
one.
a conservative.
He's a conservative one.
Yikes.
I mean, stay home and love your daughter? You filthy piece of
Human
slime.
garbage.
You literally
You pawn scum.
You don't deserve you don't deserve to be shit out of my asshole. like
You don't deserve
you're not
to
even
be a
shit.
microbe on my shit that's about to be flushed down the toilet.
That's like too generous for you.
Yeah.
You disgusting human being. Pawn scum. I like that one.
I got that from Wolf of Wall Street.
Nice.
There's this line where it's like, you are garbage. You are pawn scum. You are worse than pawn scum. You dial the phones. Do some coke to make you dial faster. Yeah.
And so Tom made a comment like, "Oh, I thought the mom was supposed to do that."
Yo, who cares?
Zach said it was pretty sexist for Tom to say that.
True.
And when Tom asked how, Zach told him about how that moms have careers too, and that Marie shouldn't have to give up all the hard work she just did.
I think that is, agreed.
I think that is completely false.
Classic
false.
John.
Classic me.
Classic John. Double down.
You know. Tom started on a tangent and Marie cut him off and told him to either quit or leave because she is done entertaining his nonsense. Which good for her.
I mean, yeah,
lay down the law. Like I have a new baby. I'm done,
dude. And it's just
stop.
And it's like a personal choice. It's
Yeah,
yo. All right. Also, like, I feel like OP is giving Tom a little bit too much credit. It's like, oh, like he loves discussing political and personal ideologies.
He's very intellectual.
Yeah,
you know.
it makes it sound like Tom is some like intellectual philosopher.
Yeah.
Where he's like, it's pretty dumb that your husband's trying to take care of your baby. What are you, some kind of nerd lady?
What are you, a vagina lip?
What are you, some kind of libtard? How many genders are there? Dude,
Now, Tom just laughed this off, but it was still very awkward after this. We didn't stay for long after, and when we got home, I told Tom that I am done with him embarrassing me and that he is not allowed to join me whenever I visit Marie again.
True.
That's right. If I'm even invited back. Oh, man. I told him that it doesn't make him look smart when he always insists on having these conversations, and it just makes him look like an ass and a fool.
Yeah, this doesn't make him sound smart at all.
The opposite.
Yeah.
Tom said, I'm blowing this way out of proportion and that it's not his fault. And they got so offended. And if anything, they were rude to kick him out over his opinion. But Marie didn't do anything to him this time. She didn't snap back at him. She didn't call him names. She just asked him to stop. So am I being the a-hole? Am I unreasonable?
I think like Marie's just kind of like sick of his shit and has learned to adapt.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like she's just become the bigger person. And so she's like, okay, I'm not gonna just say, hey, stop. I'm not into it. And then just shut it down rather than like take the bait. Pretty shitty. Like I don't. So to be clear, I don't think OP is the a-hole.
Yes.
Right. Cause just because someone is not taking the bait and being like, and like blowing up does not mean that the behavior that Tom is like doing is acceptable, and like someone should put him in check and to let him know like, hey, this is not okay, even though it didn't cause a reaction. Like, you're still being a dick.
I think that they should like go to anytime he does, like, if he wants to keep saying stupid shit, they should like go to like a boxing ring and then put like 40-pound like weights like tied like Edward 40 hands, just like wrap up his hands so he literally like can't lift his hands, and then just let Mary beat the shit out of him.
That's for saying my husband couldn't stay home. Tom needs some punishment. Tom needs some punishment.
Needs some correction.
No.
I'm sorry.